We're here to talk about how to interface ventilation control motors to any controller in the world. Why should you care about it and how you can do it. Step one, what's a ventilation controller? Well, that's a box like this that tells your vents or curtains to open or close. Over here is the ventilation motor. As the temperature goes up, you want more air for your greenhouse. You don't want things cooked. Your cows got to survive. You want this vent motor to go open and close with the temperature. Your plants got to grow. These motors go up and down on the side of your barn or your greenhouse. You want them compact and light so they actually work. These motors are 24 volts because it's safe, compact, and lightweight. You bring power in here, you bring signals from your ventilation controller in here, and then you hardwire the motor into it as well. You have overrides on it, so if something goes wrong, you could just stop a section. Often on a big barn, a 2,000-foot barn, you'll have one of these boxes and a set of motors about every 200 to 300 feet. CMR-3224 combines them all. In the last 10 years, we made about 25,000 control boxes, and we've helped a lot of people like you automate the curtains on the side of their barn. So we've got a lot of experience figuring out what works and what doesn't. The big question with these is zoning. So like, can I just make all my motors run together? You can, but it just doesn't work very well. If you got top curtains and bottom ones, when it's really cold, you want them both closed. But when it's really hot, you want them both open. But what about if it's not really hot or not really cold? Well, you want the bottom one shut so the cold air don't hit the cow. Your cow might die of pneumonia if you leave it get too drafty. So you open the top one so the cold air blows in above them and she stays down below where it's warmer. So if you got a greenhouse, you want to open the top, the ridge vent, and leave the sides closed right when you're in in-between temperatures so that you vent all the moisture out without freezing the plants. So we got two stages on here, motor one, motor two. You have a motor here, the motor over there, both running independently on this box. So you bring power in here, then the little indicator light will turn on that there's power. The next step is you hook your motors up to it. Hook your low voltage motors up, and then the little lights will turn on. When you put it in manual, forward, reverse, the little lights will turn on so you can tell what's happening. Once you've got your motors up and down successfully, you are ready to connect this box to your ventilation controller. You might have multiples of these all in the same zone. Pay attention because you need to know what a zone is. Like all the bottom ones in a big barn can be in a zone. All the tops on one side can be in a zone. Not the bottom ones on opposite sides of the barn. Take time to figure out how they're zoning things and wire accordingly. And we'll show you a diagram here. You basically run 5 18 to 22 gauge wires from here back to your ventilation controller. We'll show a diagram of where to land them, but essentially 5 18 gauge wires back to your ventilation controller will allow you to independently control 2 sets of curtains. And from the motor into here, you can be up to 200 feet long, and we can often use 12 gauge. Bring power into this box, 120, 240. If you need something custom, we can make it 480 volt. And now you know how to wire the controller, what a zone is, and why you would use this box. So thank you for watching. We've got more for you coming soon.